Hi, I'm Matt, and welcome to Less Dependent Wisconsin. So at the beginning of the growing season, we planted potatoes 3 different ways. We did them in 5-gallon buckets, we buried them directly in the soil and mounded it up, and then we grew them with just straw. So we've harvested all the potatoes. Let's take a look at how we did. Okay, so it's been 80 days since I planted the potatoes in the buckets. And I'm just kind of curious to see what's going on. So we're gonna dig this one up, show you what we find. Well, I see one for sure, so let's see. All right. Started with 2, and I've at least doubled that. A lot of littler ones. I'm gonna get this all cleaned up, see exactly how many we got. Nice. Okay, the other day I got about 1.5 pounds of potatoes out of the one bucket. Those were the whole baby reds. And I'm gonna assume that the rest of them are about ready to pull too. The plants aren't looking that great. So I'm gonna dump all these out and see what kind of harvest we get from the buckets. So out of those 8 buckets, we got 3.4 pounds of Kennebec potatoes and 3.3 pounds of baby red potatoes. So about 6.7. You add the 1.3 pounds, 1.4 pounds I got the other day, just over 8 pounds of potatoes from 9 5-gallon buckets. And literally started with 12 seed potatoes for those 9 buckets. So not a bad return on the investment. We're going to go ahead and harvest the potatoes today. The ones that we planted in the ground, that was 110 days ago. And then the ones that were just planted in straw, those were, we did those 80 days ago. So there is a 30-day difference, but I'm excited to see what we actually get. And there it is, the 2022 potato harvest. The potatoes we planted in directly in the ground and then mounded it up, and then we also planted them with just straw over them. Just straw was really easy to harvest. Just push the straw aside, there were the potatoes. You had to work a little more to dig them up. My soil seemed really compacted, so next year I'm going to have to use a little more compost. The one problem I did have this year with the straw was we had a rabbit make a nest in it. And in that spot, it was extremely wet and there were a lot of maggots. Some of the potatoes really got some insect abuse. But we'll get these weighed up. I'll come back and let you know the total amount that we got and then kind of do a cost breakdown. When it was all said and done, I got 23 pounds of potatoes from the ones we planted in the ground and just with straw. So you add that to the 8 pounds that I got from the bucket potatoes, we finished the season with just over 30 pounds of potatoes. I spent $14 on the seed potatoes. I did not use them all. I did give a bunch to my friends. So there are other potatoes out there from that 14 bucks. I spent 20 bucks on straw and then 8 bucks on 7 dust when I started getting the potato beetles. But all in all, it was a very interesting experiment. I think next year I'm going to try to get 2 crops out of the buckets since I did those in about 80 days. And then I'm going to see about doing this whole area right here, but with a small fence around it to keep the critters out, and then use more compost next year. Well, I hope you enjoyed this series of videos. Hope you learned something. Growing potatoes. Focus on being less dependent. We'll see you soon. Have a great day.